So you're a runner that's injured, or you're a new runner that's scared to get injured because everyone's talking about it. I'm going to tell you how not to never get injured. The three things that I wish I did from the start 5 years ago. I've done 22 marathons in 3 years, 650 milers, and I've only had two injuries throughout my career. But these things right here are going to save you. So let's get into it. So the first two injuries I had was when I first started running, which is a very common injury. It's Achilles tendonitis. You have Achilles tendonitis, runner's knee, IT band syndrome, and sometimes plantar fasciitis. Those are the top four. The other ones are a stress fracture either in your leg, which is your femur, or in your feet. So not to scare anyone, but it is stats. I think it's 79 or 78 to 80% of runners, I believe, since 2007, new runners get injured. Now that's a very high stat. I'm going to tell you why and how to avoid it. This way, you are not the 80%. Injuries can be just as small as tendonitis, or they can be as big as a stress fracture. Okay, there's different types of injuries, and there's different reasons they occur. So the number one injury is your training. Okay, we need to be very conservative if you're a new runner. So if you're starting off at 20-mile weeks, hold there, and then you add conservatively 10%. You're not going to get injured if you're only adding 10%. People get injured when they go from 20 miles to 45 miles because your body can't handle the load. The second thing, we need to run more frequently, right? Shorter runs, but more frequently. What this does is it builds up your tendons and it builds up your muscles over time. The other thing is we need to look at training, but we need to look at your biomechanics. Are you a toe runner, a heel striker? From there, we can kind of see what imbalances you have, right? That comes more down to a science, but your biomechanics play a massive role in injuries, in strength, in power, and everything. So the first reason I got injured was I didn't strength train. My tendons, as in my Achilles and my calf, could not handle the load that I was putting out. We run, it's not to run to get stronger, it's for endurance. The way that we get stronger is in the gym. So a lot of new runners, they only think that they're going to run and be fine. If you look at the advanced runners, they're always strength training. I never strength trained. Ever since I strength trained, zero injuries. I recommend strength training 2 to 3 to 4 times per week. We're not strength training for bodybuilding, and we're not going to failure. We're training for stimulation. Okay, this is planks, calf raises, your legs, right? Leg extensions, squats, hip thrusts, that kind of thing. All right, that all varies on the person. It all varies if you're training to be a long distance runner or a sprinter. So we have to make sure that we strength train. You will build up the muscles, the tendons, and avoid injuries. The other reason runners get injured is because of their diet. The second injury that I had and the last injury that I had, knock on wood, was basically because I was eating in a calorie deficit and I was anorexic. A lot of runners are anorexic. They don't want to talk about it. They want to be thin and light. And yes, weight does play a role. But if you are a performance athlete, understand that food equals performance. You're not a bodybuilder stepping on the show. You're not trying to diet here and lose weight. Marathon training is not the time for that. You're going to get injured. By being in a calorie deficit, you're starving yourself. You're not giving it the proper nutrients. Your body can't handle the load, and it starts to break down over time. As you push your body, things happen. Bones get weak, obviously tendons tear, that kind of thing. So your food is going to be the number one thing that's going to avoid injury, but also up recovery. The quicker that we can up recovery, you're going to avoid injuries. Another thing I wish I did was change my shoes. Shoes aren't magic, but they matter. You can't put, and I've always said this, snow tires on a Ferrari and expect to go fast. So you want to have a speed shoe, a tempo shoe, a long run shoe, an easy run shoe. One shoe is not going to get the job done, and it's actually going to get you injured a lot faster. So what happens over time is these shoes, obviously the cushion breaks down, your knees become weaker, your ankles become weaker, and if you don't strength train them, you're probably going to get injured. Another way to look at the shoes is flip it over. If there's any scuffs or imbalances and your knees start to hurt, kick them out the door. The last thing, because I can go on forever, but I never did it and now I do it every day, is foam rolling and yoga. So a soft muscle and a pliable muscle is a healthy muscle. It's flexible, right? There's blood flow into it. A hard muscle, a tight muscle, there's lack of blood flow, lack of nutrients. It's not recovering properly. Obviously, your injury risk goes up. So just by adding in foam rolling, 15 minutes, your pre and post run activations, your yoga, stretching out the muscle, right? That's exactly what you want to do. And that's a healthy muscle, and that's going to save you when it comes to getting any type of imbalances and tightness. When tightnesses occur, obviously your muscle and your tendons get pulled, and that's what happens sometimes with tendonitis and stuff. So to sum this up, because I go on forever, get your diet in check. A healthy diet with micronutrients, macronutrients, and a maintenance and a surplus will save you from getting injured, number one, and it will up your recovery and performance. That's what we want to do as runners, get better. The second thing, if you don't have a coach, get a coach, because they're going to help you with a lot of things like progressive overload, doing it the safe way, when to push, when to hold you back. If you're just winging it off a chat GPT or Runna, that's where a lot of runners get injured, right? Because they're doing it not the correct way. And then the other thing is make sure that you strength train. By strength training, we can preload the muscle, strengthen the muscle and the tendons. And then from there, when you do up your miles, you're going to be safe and sound when it comes to running. So we have to understand that running isn't just running. There's so many other variables that come into it. Diet, nutrition, number one, to avoid injury, help with sleep and recovery. Strength training to help with actually strengthening the muscles and the tendons. And then you have mobility. Then you have the run itself, right? You're not getting better by running. You're getting better when you recover. So you have to understand that that plays a massive role in avoiding injuries. So I will leave off as this. If you're injured, drop a comment. I'll help get over it, see what we can do to avoid it next time. And the other thing I will say, a little bit of a cringy motivation, you have one body, okay? Give yourself the love after every run. Tell yourself you're capable, you're healthy. There's going to be a time and point when I know it may not catch up to us now in our 20s, 30s, 40s, but if you look at old people that are in a wheelchair, they'll never be able to run again. And I know it sounds scary, I know it sounds sad, but do not take running for granted. Don't take the fact that you can wake up every morning, touch the feet or touch the ground with your 2 feet. Do not take that for granted. There's some people that can never run in their lives. And for me, that I'm a big time runner, this is my freedom, this is my outlet. And if it was taken away, I'd be devastated. And I know for a lot of people, they would be too. So you have one body, you have one vehicle, fuel it properly, give it the love, maintain it, clean it, and make sure that it runs for as long as it can.